What's happening, y'all? Listen, I wanted to do this video because several of you guys have asked me over the duration of this channel, and Michael, you recently asked me. The question was, have I received any flack from the narcissist from starting this channel? And I wanted to do it in a video format because, like I said, several of you guys have been curious about that. And I feel like some of you guys are considering starting your own channels, maybe down the line. And I kind of wanted to just give you guys some insight as to why I started this channel and where my headspace was at even when I started the channel and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. But if you guys are new here, I talk about narcissistic abuse on this channel. I am a narcissistic abuse survivor. I came out of a very toxic situation, and I was one of the ones that was able to break away. I didn't break away clean. I did have some collateral damage from the situation, but at the same time, it is what prompted me to come and start this channel to help some of you guys kind of recognize some of the signs and symbols and some of the things that you are going to experience in a toxic relationship, because a lot of us don't understand, you know, what boundaries are even, and why they are important, why they're necessary in your life, and all of that kind of stuff. But so if you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But this video is basically a response to, have I received any flack from starting this channel? So the first thing I want to say is, before I ever started this channel, I had already confronted the narcissist, or, you know, the toxic individual that I was dealing with. I had already confronted her on everything that she had done, all of her behaviors, all of the stuff. That the one thing that I didn't know at the time was that it was called narcissism. I didn't know anything about cluster B personalities. I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. But I knew enough that the behaviors themselves was off. This, like, the stuff that she was doing, I was calling the behaviors out before I even knew what narcissism was. And like I said, the reason that I kind of started this channel was because I wanted to give you guys at least a heads up. I didn't have the information at the time. No, you know, I had never seen a video on narcissism. I had never seen any information about what a narcissist was or any of that kind of stuff. I had heard the term before, but I had never actually seen any information that was like directly correlated to my life, and that like I needed to be like looking out for this kind of thing and all of that kind of stuff. So that's the reason that I started this channel, for the, you know, that's one of the main reasons. I had several different reasons, but one of the main reasons that I started this channel was because I just did not have the education at that time, and I felt like it wasn't enough resources. And I feel like everyone that has a voice, especially those people that have experienced this, I think it's kind of important to share your experiences and, you know, just kind of give other people opportunity to have some shortcuts in their situation, to kind of know what direction to go. Because like I said, I was going through this blindly, and just by the grace of God and just by me having a close relationship with God, and I think that's one of the reasons why I went through this, is because one of my assignments here was to, I guess, start this channel. My goal, I never wanted to talk about any of this kind of stuff on YouTube or anything like that. I'm actually a very introverted and shy type of person, to be honest. I don't even like to talk about, I barely share my personal life and stuff like that on any other social platforms, any of that kind of stuff. So it was difficult. Like, this is very difficult for me. So my fears and my apprehensions didn't stem from the narcissist finding out about this channel. Like I said, I had already called her out on all of her behaviors. I had no problem going to war with her family if that's what it came down to. I didn't want to, because that's not where my headspace was at. Like, I had no problem doing it if I had to, but I'm thinking like, this is a time for us to be coming together as a family. This is a time for us to be coming together and pulling our resources together to make something beautiful out of the situation that we've created. You know what I'm saying? So I was more so in that headspace, but I never was in fear of this particular person or any of her family members or any retaliation or any of that kind of stuff. And like I said, some of you guys know a little bit more about the story. If you guys have been following the channel from the very beginning, you guys kind of know that, like I said, I confronted this person. So when I say I confronted this person, like I said, I called out every single behavior that I saw, that I caught. Like, you know, with a narcissist, you're not going to catch everything. They've probably been doing so much stuff behind your back and behind the scenes that you're never going to catch every single thing that they're doing. But the stuff that I did catch, I spoke up on it. It wasn't like I was just sweeping stuff under the rug and just letting stuff go and all of that kind of stuff. No, I honestly just didn't understand what narcissism was, and I was just a step behind because of the fact that I just never was taught about narcissism, didn't understand what to do when I saw red flags. First of all, it was hard to identify some of the red flags because I grew up in a very tumultuous environment myself, you know what I'm saying? So with me growing up in that, it was hard for me to see a lot of the red flags that, you know, some of these things that I was probably attracted to just from the way that I grew up. So the fact that I grew up kind of rough and I had a lot of things going on in my own personal life, it's like I was overlooking some of the red flags, that like some of the stuff that I caught, and I was just kind of easy going about it, that kind of thing. And with me being just easy going and passive about it and all of that kind of stuff, it made me, I guess, susceptible to being victimized or whatever the case may be. But I never started this channel because I wanted to stay in like a victimhood mentality. And that's one of the things that I want to stress to you guys. When I started this channel, I had already felt like a winner. Now, and I understand when I started this channel, I was in a shell shock state to the point where it was hard for me to articulate the experiences that I had just went through. And I think one of the reasons that I was led to start the channel when I did was because maybe I was supposed to be an example of growth. Maybe I was supposed to be an example of like when you first start out, and you know, and just how to develop. Because to be honest, I had overcome so many other obstacles in life that I didn't feel, I never felt defeated in this situation. And a lot of people don't understand, you know, when they come to my channel and they like, when they hear certain things that I say, like, oh, you know, I was hit with a baby trap and all of that kind of stuff, they think that I'm trying to like duck and avoid my own accountability in the situation. And me facing my own accountability is the only thing that actually got me through the situation. Me understanding that, hey, listen, this is a bed that you made for yourself. Unfortunately, you believe somebody that was a liar. Unfortunately, but you took a chance on somebody that was no good for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, you know, I had to face that on my own. I had to like face that myself and just say, like a lot of people will say, well, you chose that person, or you chose to be with this person and all of that kind of stuff. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? I understand. And me taking my own accountability in the situation is me raising my son with no problem, is me being there for my son with anything that he needs or anything in that situation. But what I won't continue to do is continue to be disrespected. What I won't continue to do is continue to condone any of the negative or terrible behavior that's going on. That, I mean, like I said, I cut the situation off. It's been almost 4 or 5 years now, to the point where I haven't been able to go completely no contact, but I've had to go Gray Rock. And then me doing Gray Rock, me being in Gray Rock was never out of fear of the situation. It was more so for me to keep my own sanity. It was more so for me to keep my own peace, because talking to her or talking to her family or any of that kind of stuff and trying to find like understanding or reasoning behind the situation wasn't going to do nothing but drive me crazy, because I wasn't getting nothing but word salad. I was getting spent all the time. People was, telling me, basically they was trying to spin the situation and make it my fault and all of that kind of stuff that will, you know, well, it's your fault because you dealt with her. And I'm like, well, I dealt with her under the intentions or under the pretenses that, we were on the same page. A lot of people don't understand that. It's like a used car. Like, it's almost like you go to a dealership and you see a car on the lot, and you go to the dealer and you're asking that dealer like, hey, I really like this car, and the dealer tells you, oh yeah, it's a great car, it's this, it's that, it's this. He's giving you all the specs on it. He's telling you about all of, all of the details and everything that comes along with the car, and you are excited to get this car, and you ask, hey, is there any problems with the car? Anything going on with the car? Like anything that I need to be worried or concerned about with the car? And they tell me, no. We did a Carfax. We did this. We did that. We did this. We did that. And then all of a sudden you get the car home, and next thing you know, the car's a lemon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people don't realize that certain people, especially if you don't understand what boundaries are, like I said, and if you don't understand what red flags are, certain people make decisions based on the information that they're given at the time. And a lot of empaths do that because we always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. We want to see people in their best light, and because we want to do that, we put ourselves and we make ourselves kind of susceptible to being manipulated by terrible people, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what the long and short of it is. Like I said, I wanted to do this video because I wanted you guys to understand that when I started this channel, a lot of my first videos, and as you guys can see, I'm still not completely comfortable in front of the camera. I'm still sweating and all of that kind of stuff, just trying to, get through the video or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is, when I first started this channel, it was never out of fear about being found out about anything or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I had already confronted this person on the behaviors. I just didn't know that it was called narcissism at the time. And I was one of the ones that, like they always say, oh, you don't confront the narcissist, this, that, and the third. I've always been the type of person that I confront my situations like head on. So it's like, when the behaviors was happening, I was calling out the behaviors. Then when I started learning about narcissism and she kept pushing my buttons, then I started throwing out, the information that I knew about, like what I was learning about narcissism and all of that kind of stuff. But then when I realized that all I was doing was giving her more energy, all I was doing was feeding into the situation more, all I was doing was, I wasn't getting anywhere in the situation. There was nothing to gain out of me, doing that or whatever the case may be. That's when I started going completely gray rock, when I started understanding that me feeding into it is what's keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? If I don't give the situation any energy at all, then then it kind of fades away or dies out, or at least dwindles down to the point where I can, live my normal, natural life. And it's such a small part of my day, or such a small part of, what's going on or whatever the case may be. It's never going to be a entirely like faint situation because my son is involved. It's like it's never going to be a situation where I don't think about it or whatever the case may be because my son is involved. But outside of my child being involved, I was able to gain a lot of my, gain a lot of my own, like, source back. You know what I'm saying? I was able to gain a lot of my own, my the internal self, the stuff that I love to do, the things that I enjoyed about life, the things that I enjoyed about me, even the things that I enjoy about raising my child and things like that. Those are things that, you know what I'm saying, I had to kind of carve my own path and realize, like, okay, listen, I went through this, but I'm not stuck there, and I have grown past that situation. And since I've grown past that situation, this is where my life, and this is the direction that my life is going in now. So it will change you in the sense that you will be redirected, but your redirection is going to just basically strengthen the person that you already are. If you've already always been on the right path or whatever the case may be, um, then it's going to continue to push you down that same road or whatever the case may be. So for me, I feel like that's what it has done for me. I feel like I have lost a lot in that situation, but I have gained so much more. I've gained a new family, a new tribe starting this channel. I have gained some confidence of just getting in front of the camera and talking to people, that kind of thing. So like I said, I just wanted to do this video because several of you guys have asked me, you know, is this person, you know, like, do they know about the channel? Or, you know, like, as if I'm not saying that you guys are saying it like that, but I've never been in fear of that. You know what I'm saying? I was, like I said, I was more in fear of just getting in front of the camera and just telling the story myself and sharing just being vulnerable with the world and all of that kind of stuff. But outside of that kind of thing, I had already confronted these people. I had already, like I said, if it's up with me, then it's up with me. You know what I'm saying? If I got a problem with somebody, I'm very direct when it comes down to that kind of stuff. So I was never ducking and hiding with this channel. Now, like I said, what I will say is understanding narcissism and understanding that these people will never, you know, just completely give up. And if you keep antagonizing them, so I didn't necessarily start this channel to antagonize her. That's another thing that I want you guys to understand. I understand now more so, and I'm actually a little, you know, it kind of saddens me that she's even in the state that she's in, because I saw the shell of what could have been a very beautiful person. You know what I'm saying? And now just understanding that this is something that she will never be, and that everything that I potentially saw during the love bomb stage and all of that kind of stuff, all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? It shaped me in a different way, and now I see her in a different light, and I kind of feel sorry for her in a certain sense, if that makes sense. I do feel a little bit sorry for her. That doesn't give her a pass for the things that she's done. That doesn't give her a pass for any of the bad behaviors or any of that kind of stuff. But, and like I said, I didn't start this channel. I started this channel more so to kind of protect myself. I started this channel because I wanted to help protect others, because like I said, when I started this channel, there was limited resources on the topic. And one of the resources that I came to, and one of the ways that I found out about even the things that I was dealing with, was because other people had YouTube channels. And so I felt like once I felt, number one, God blessed me with the ability of foresight and being able to see and foresee what was coming. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I didn't foresee it before we had a child together or any of that kind of stuff, but I was able to catch it and keep my sanity, because basically the road that I would have been going down if I had not woken up and realized what was going on, and realized like the different manipulations that I had already been under. And then once the lies started unfolding, and I started like uncovering one lie after another lie after another lie, then it was kind of to the point where I felt like, okay, it of course it hurt me, because you don't think that people are like this. You don't think that people, there's anybody that even acts like this. But um, after a while of dealing with this, and after so long of really seeing their behaviors, learning about them, going Gray Rock, understanding, seeing how Gray Rock affects the situation. Because, like I said, and that's another reason why I did the channel, is because the way that Gray Rock, the way that I have to do Gray Rock, I'll always be able to have content for you guys. I'll always be, because the dynamics of my situation are always changing. So I get to see how this person reacts in this way, or how this person reacts when this happens. So like during different life events, and as time goes on and things like that, I get to see firsthand how this person is reacting to certain things. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this channel, because I mean, for whatever they say, when you start a YouTube channel, you want to create a channel where you're going to have content that you can continue to come back on. And I knew that this would be a topic that was ever changing. There was always going to be something new happening in the situation. So it was like, okay. And like I said, I fought against starting this channel a lot, because I just wasn't comfortable. Number one, talking in front of the camera was something that I never really wanted to do. And then on top of talking in front of the camera, it was more so like this topic, you know what I'm saying? If I was going to do something in front of the camera, I wanted to do something fun and exciting and all of that kind of stuff. And I might still do that kind of stuff for y'all, because I'm interested in a whole lot of other stuff other than this. And I want you guys to understand that when I'm living my life behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Don't think that because I come here and I've given you, even back when I first started, I was living my life behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? I was not just sitting around waiting for the narcissist to come back, or sitting around waiting for answers or any of that kind of stuff. I've always been strong enough with my relationship with God that I just accept the things that happen. I accepted the fact that, okay, this is something that happened. This is something that I needed to learn from. And that was me taking accountability in the situation. I want to be with my son every single day. I have every resource to have my son every single day, except for the fact that I just picked the wrong woman. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, there's nothing holding me back except for the fact that of who his mother is. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And unfortunately, I didn't see the red flags, and I thought that this was somebody that I could be in a relationship with. I thought that, if nothing else, I thought that we would always be good friends. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's where a lot of people don't understand this. It's like, well, you should have vetted better and this, that, and the third. This is somebody that I honestly thought that was going to be, if nothing else, like I said, if nothing else, we would always be great friends, because we never had an argument. We never had nothing like the red flags that and I'll do a whole separate video on that. But basically, a lot of the red flags that people, that some of you guys say that you guys saw, whatever the case may be, and I don't know if the person that I was dealing with was just so seasoned in the game, which she probably was. Like, she's probably had a lot of experience in it, because she is attractive, and on top of her being attractive, like, we live in the DMV, like the DC area is saturated with like simps, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna go and they're gonna chase it down. So it's like, but like I said, I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that kind of stuff. But basically, what I'm saying is, when I started this channel, I was never in fear of this person finding out. I was never in fear of any of that kind of stuff. It's a very good question, because I have been attacked since I've had this channel, but I don't know if the attacks came from just the way things played out at the end of the relationship, or if the attacks are continuing because they found the channel. So I don't, the main top, the main point of this video is narcissists are cowards, basically. And the fact that I knew she was a coward, and the fact that I never feared having a channel. You know what I'm saying? I never feared her finding the channel and then confronting me like, oh my God, you put me on YouTube, or you put this story on YouTube. No, I never feared that kind of thing. What, like I said, I feared more was just the apprehension of just talking in front of the camera, and just being, like I said, just more so being comfortable in front of the camera, being comfortable sharing my story in front of the camera, being comfortable with people judging me even without even knowing me, you know, that kind of thing. It was more so those kind of things. And once I started to tell my story, I started to feel a little more comfortable, I guess, video by video and day by day. I'm still not fully comfortable, you know, as like I said, as y'all can see, I'm still not fully comfortable in front of the camera. I'm still getting over, you know, public speaking and all of that kind of stuff, but I still feel like my story is very important. It's something that has helped a lot of people up to this point, and I hope it continues to help a lot of people, you know, as we continue. And like I said, I'll always be able to give you guys up-to-date content, because my story is ever changing. It's something that, like I said, when I came into the situation, I was kind of shell shocked, and y'all probably saw that in the videos. I was so shell shocked to the point where I couldn't even believe that people existed like this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize. I knew evil existed, but I didn't realize like how present it was in our everyday life. I didn't realize how present, you know, all of these spiritual things were in our every single, and all of the decisions that we make and all of that kind of stuff. So it was a combination of being shell shocked, and it was also a combination of just my fear of being in front of the camera, of why my videos, and I know a lot of you guys are like, you know, you need to start your video, you know, you need to start your you need to take some time off and start doing your videos later when you heal more and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like I started the channel when I was supposed to start the channel, because I started the channel when I heard God tell me to start the channel. I was literally stuck in a situation where I didn't know what else to do, and I was praying about it, and the answer that I kept getting was start a YouTube channel. And I kept fighting against it. Like I said, I've said this in a lot of different videos. I fought against the idea of starting a channel, especially about this, because this is not something that I wanted to be talking about. But I realized how important it was, and I realized that because of a lot of the other things that I have overcome in life, that I may be strong enough to actually start the channel. Even though, because one thing, I've always had fears in life, but I've always been super brave. You know what I'm saying? I've always been extremely brave because I've always been faced with situations where it was do or die. You know what I'm saying? So because I was always faced in those situations where it was do or die, I always had to be brave. I always had to like step in front of the bullet if I had to. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I feel like, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons why I was supposed to start the channel in a vulnerable state. I was supposed to start this channel before I started healing and growing and all of that kind of stuff, because maybe it will inspire somebody else that's in that situation, or maybe somebody else who can see that, okay, this person, I remember when this first happened to this person, and I can see the growth over time and all of that kind of stuff. So like I said, I just wanted to drop that in y'all lap, man, because a few of you guys have asked me that question, and I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for just continuing to rock with the channel. If you're new here and you have made it to the end of the channel, man, I mean, if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on the Facebook group, man. Show love to, you know, the donations if you guys want to. I appreciate all of the love, man. $1, $5, whatever the case may be. I'm not doing no begging or anything as far as, trying to get no money here. I just appreciate you guys tapping in and just watching the videos and commenting on the videos and sharing the experience with me. If I was just trying to get rich from this channel, or whatever the case may be, I would be like a lot of other content creators where we're just dropping videos all day long, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. I drop videos when I actually have something to say to you guys, because number one, this is still a legacy, you know what I'm saying? This, you know, I don't know how far YouTube is going to go for me or any of that kind of stuff, but it's still something that I put my heart and soul into, you know what I'm saying? And as you guys can see, a lot of times I don't even edit my videos because of the fact that I'm just giving you like straight, raw, uncut. This is who I am. This is what the situation is. So, like I said, man, I love you guys. I will tap in with you guys soon, man. Peace. And if you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. Love y'all.